from the heart of Delta State. You are tuned in to Srtv Asaba.
Good morning and welcome to Srtv Morning News, coming live to you from our studios in Asaba. I'm Obama Gabriel Joy. Thank you so much for joining us. Here are the major stories making headlines this morning. A Nigerian army officer and a police officer was killed as troops repelled a terrorist attack in Zamfara State and rescued abducted civilians. Vice President Kashim Shettima arrives in Asaba ahead of the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit. The political war of words between the All Progressive Congress and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar deepened following former President Olusegun Obasanjo's remark. Fresh concerns emerged over alleged political violence ahead of the August 15th governorship election in Osun State. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency intercepts cocaine concealed inside a traditional wooden mortar and a backpack destined for China and Italy. And in sports, Chelsea completes the signing of Argentine defender Valentin Barco, while Juventus strengthen their squad with two new arrivals. Those are the headlines. Now the news in detail. A Nigerian army and a police officer have lost their lives after troops of Operation Fansan Yama repelled a terrorist attack on a forward operating base in Para Namoda local government area of Zamfara State. The military says the attack occurred in the early hours of Saturday when terrorists attempted to infiltrate the forward operating base of Fasun Danji. According to the Nigerian army, troops detected the movement of the attackers and responded with coordinated firepower, forcing them to retreat. During the operation, the troop rescued 9 civilians who had earlier been abducted by the fleeing terrorists. The army says the attackers suffered heavy casualties, while the rescue operation further demonstrates the military's commitment to restoring peace and security across the Northwest. Military authorities have praised the courage and sacrifice of the fallen personnel, describing their actions as a demonstration of unwavering commitment to national service. Meanwhile, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency says it has foiled fresh attempts to drug traffickers or by drug traffickers to smuggle cocaine to Europe and Asia. The agency say operatives intercepted cocaine concealed inside a traditional wooden mortar destined for China. Another consignment intended for Italy was discovered hidden in the false bottom of a specially modified backpack concealed amongst lace materials. The NDLEA says the seizure highlights the evolving methods being adopted by international drug trafficking networks. The agency has reiterated its commitment to disrupting illicit drug supply chains and bringing those responsible to justice. In another development, police in Jigawa State have confirmed the death of a suspected cable vandal. According to the police command, the suspect was electrocuted while allegedly attempting to cut a high-tension cable along the Ringim Road. Officials were said to have responded after receiving a distress call about a motionless body found near the power installation. Authorities say investigations are continuing. The incident comes amid growing concerns over repeated attacks on public infrastructure in parts of Jigawa State. The political exchanges ahead of the 2027 general election continues to gather momentum. Now, the All Progressive Congress has backed former President Olusegun Obasanjo's criticism of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, describing the former president as someone who speaks from personal knowledge. The party says Nigerians should carefully consider Obasanjo's assessments before making future leadership decisions. But Atiku Abubakar has dismissed the comments, insisting they will not affect his political ambition. The former vice president accused Chief Obasanjo of attempting to rewrite political history and said the remarks were motivated by lingering disagreement over the failed third-term agenda. The exchange follows comments made by the former president during a public conversation in Lagos, where he described choosing Atiku as his running mate in 1999 as the biggest mistake of his presidency. Political observers believe the latest exchange may further shape the conversation ahead of the 2027 presidential election. Still on politics, concerns are mounting over the conduct of campaigns ahead of the Osun State governorship election. The Imole Campaign Council, which is backing Governor Ademola Adeleke's re-election bid, has raised fresh allegations of political intimidation and violence in parts of the state. In a statement issued on Sunday, the council called on security agencies to ensure a peaceful, free, and credible election on August 15. Now, the campaign organization says reports from several communities indicate growing fears amongst residents over alleged political motivated violence. It is also urged all stakeholders to report and to respect the democratic process and allow voters to exercise their civil rights without fear. With less than 2 weeks to the election, political activities are expected to intensify across Osun State. Away from politics, attention now shifts to Delta State, where preparations have been concluded for a major investment summit expected to attract national and international stakeholders. Vice President Kassim Shettima has arrived in Asaba ahead of the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit scheduled to begin today. The Vice President was received at the Asaba International Airport by the Delta State Governor, Sheriff Oborowori, along senior government officials and political leaders. Also expected at the summit are the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and renowned Kenyan scholar, Professor Patrick Lumumba. The summit is expected to bring together government officials, business leaders, and development partners to explore investment opportunities in Delta State. Vice President Shettima is expected to speak on how the federal government's renewed hope agenda is creating opportunities for investment, economic growth, and private sector development. Organizers say the summit will also focus on attracting local and foreign investment, strengthening strategic partnership, and accelerating economic transformations across the state. Meanwhile, the federal government has commenced preparation for the 2026 National Laureate Program was aimed at promoting academic excellence and research innovation. The program, coordinated by the Tertiary Institutions National Laureate Committee, carries an annual research prize fund of 365 million naira. Now, according to the committee, The initiative is designed to recognize outstanding undergraduate dissertations, master theses, and doctoral research from accredited tertiary institutions across the country. Institutions have been directed to establish internal selection committees to identify outstanding research for national competition. The committee says the program reflects government's commitment to strengthening research, encouraging innovation, and promoting scholarship as a driver of national development. In another development, Nigerian businesses now have access to new financing opportunity designed to support expansion and modernization. The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture, NACIMA, has opened applications for a $150 million offshore expansion facility. The initiative, developed in partnership with German-based banking group, is expected to provide qualified Nigerian businesses with long-term financing at single-digit interest rates. According to NACIMA, the facility will improve access to foreign capital, encourage business expansion, and strengthen the country's organized private sector. Applications are now open through a dedicated digital platform unveiled during the Infrastructure Conference 2026 in Abuja. From business and investment, we move to the nation's commercial capital, where a tragic road accident claimed the life of a motorist. A female driver has died after losing control of a vehicle and crashing into a roadside building along the Mongoro area in Ward Ile-Zik in Lagos State. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, says the victim was driving alone when the Toyota Sienna veered off the road before crashing into the building. The agency described the impact as severe, resulting in the driver's instant death. Now, LASMA officials who were on routine patrol repeatedly responded immediately. They secured the scene and managed traffic to prevent further accidents. The authority says normal traffic flow was restored shortly after the incident. Turning now to entertainment, popular TikTok personalities Pella and Jarvis have officially tied the knot in a lavish wedding ceremony held in Lagos. The event, which followed the court wedding and traditional marriage rites, attracted a host of celebrities, musicians, social media influencers, and business personalities from across the country. Among those in attendance were Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo, singer Shehu Kuti, socialite Cubana chief priest, media personality Daddy Freeze, actress Eniola Badmus, content creator Cute Abiola, and several other notable figures. One of the major highlights of the ceremony came when the businessman King Ochacho announced the gift of a mansion reportedly worth 400 million naira to the newlyweds in Abuja. The wedding, which trended wildly on social media under the hashtag JP2026, has continued to generate reactions online. Meanwhile, a businessman, Farouk Oreagba, popularly known as Mr. Steez, has opened up about his remarkable journey from wealth to hardship and back. Speaking during an interview on the Mentality Show hosted by Ebuka Obi-Uchendu and co-hosted by Banky W, Oreagba revealed that he was a dollar millionaire at the age of 30, but found himself working as a laborer in England just 5 years after losing his banking job. He said the experience transformed his perspective on success and taught him that good health, meaningful relationships, and life itself are more valuable than money. and material possessions. Oreagba urged people to focus on what truly matters rather than chasing wealth at all costs. And now to sports. Chelsea have completed the signing of Argentine defender Valentin Barco from sister club Strasbourg on a 7-year contract. Now the 22-year-old becomes Chelsea's 7th signing of the current transfer window and the latest player to move between the two clubs under their shared ownership structure. Capable of playing as a left back and in midfield, Barco previously had a brief spell in the Premier League with Brighton before moving to France. Chelsea say the signing is part of efforts to strengthen the squad ahead of the new season. Elsewhere, Italian giant Juventus have completed the signings of Bosnia youngster Kerim Alaj-Begovic and French striker Randal Kolomuani. 18-year-old Alaj-Begovic joins the Serie A club on a 5-year deal after spells with Red Bull Salzburg and Bayer Leverkusen. Juventus have also secured the permanent signing of Kolomuani following his successful loan spell from Paris Saint-Germain. The club says both players will add quality and depth to the squad as preparations continue for the new football season. And before we go, here is for today, Monday, August the 3rd, 2026, according to the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. In the northern states, patches of cloud are expected this morning with thunderstorms and moderate rainfall likely over parts of the northwest, as well as Bauchi, Gombe, Taraba, and Adamawa State. As the day progresses, moderate thunderstorms are expected across parts of Yobe, Borno, Kebbi, Katsina, Kaduna, Kano, Bauchi, Gombe, Adamawa, and Taraba State. Residents are advised to remain alert as strong winds and localized flooding may accompany the storms. Moving to the north central region, cloudy conditions are expected in the morning with chances of rainfall over parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, Plateau, and Nasarawa states. In the southern region, cloudy skies will dominate the morning with intermittent rainfall over parts of Ogun, Lagos, and across the southeast and the south-south states. More widespread rainfall is later forecast later in the day in parts of Lagos, Osun, Ondo, Ogun, Ekiti, Oyo, as well as the southeast and the south-south regions. NIMET is advising residents in flood-prone areas and low-lying communities to remain vigilant as heavy rainfall may lead to localized flooding. Motorists are advised to avoid driving through flooded roads, while residents should disconnect electrical appliances during thunderstorms where necessary. Airline operators are also advised to obtain airport-specific weather briefings for safe flight operations. And that's it for Srtv Morning News. Thank you for joining us. Coming up at 10 a.m. is State of the Nation. Do stay with us. I'm Obawa Gabriel Joy. Have a productive Monday. Good morning.